Hi, do you have a job that uses a computer? Your job is in future jeopardy. I've been using ChatGPT for a couple of years now, mainly to help me write things in a more understandable manner, and it's improved in leaps and bounds. And even within weeks, I can see huge changes in the way it does stuff. You can create simple sound effects, you can create images, it can write code for me, it'll give me detailed reports, and all sorts of stuff. If you work with computers and you think your job is safe, sorry, but that's a bit of a delusion. All those people that say that it's going to make you more productive, what they're really saying is, we used to have a team of 6 graphic designers and now we've got one, and that one person is going to be more productive because now they'll have AI produce the images for them instead of them having to manually draw them. I mean, it's got far-reaching repercussions. So not only is it going to shrink the labour force, so people that are remaining are going to be under a lot more pressure, there's also a reduction in software as well. So you look at, say, for programming, one of the major sources is Stack Overflow. I haven't used that for years and years, mainly because I can just get programming solutions from AI, and it does it better than I can search. How it typically works is I'll Google a programming solution, and then I might find half a dozen different answers, and then I have to go sift through those forum posts and look at the answers and work out which ones are correct and which ones are not correct, because they're not always correct. A lot of people tend to guess solutions, but somehow magically ChatGPT has solved that by actually providing the end solution, which saves me 30 minutes of Googling and reading forums and all that and just getting straight to the result. And I'm pretty sure it's like that in other industries as well. So I'm not sure if you've noticed, but on the YouTube channel lately I've been using AI to create the thumbnails. So a year ago it was sort of hit and miss, the spelling was a bit off, some of the graphics looked a bit dodgy, but the stuff it makes now is far better than I could create myself. I could probably make something better myself if I spent hours on it, and then I would have to go buy something like Adobe, which is more cost. As you can see, it's got good benefits. It makes everything cheap and affordable, but on the downside, it's going to make everybody redundant. So let's just have a look at ChatGPT 5, and I'll just show you some of the things you can do now. So I'm going to focus on first on what occupations are going to be at peril. So let's use ChatGPT to ask us what occupations are going to be severely impacted in the next 2 years. So here we go, clerical assistant roles, customer service, call centre. Well, we know a lot of those are already gone with all those automated voice call systems they have. Do they actually provide a better service? No. All they do is save the company money. Sales, marketing, PR, programming. Yes, I agree with the programming. I would not have agreed with it a year ago, but as I'm going to show you, it's leaps and bounds better than even what it was a year ago. Interpretations, translation. Yes, when I got my car, the manual for it was in Japanese. 100% Japanese, diagrams and everything. So I actually created myself a Google search in Japanese and then found the Lexus website in Japan and downloaded a manual, and then I fed that to a AI bot, and it managed to translate the entire 600-page document from Japanese to English, diagrams and all, and then it let me download it. So now I've got a real version of the owner's guide, which I can now read. I mean, I couldn't have done that even a couple of years ago. That would have been impossible without spending a lot of money. So according to this, the resilient trades are, with no surprise here, is the manual jobs. So plumber, electrician, healthcare, caregiving, creative service roles. So if you think I'm just making this up, ChatGPT also gives me the references. So you can mouse over here. And the newer ChatGPT actually can access the internet, where the older versions couldn't, so it will actually give me the references. So it's given me a source of references, and here is its full list. So you can see it's quite comprehensive. It's pulled this data from at least 20 places, if not more, 30 places, 40 places. Okay, so let's continue. So I want to see if ChatGPT can actually process stuff that I give it rather than just read the web. Okay, it says it can. So, all right. Let's go upload a... Okay, so here is a recent picture of my wife and I. So I'm just going to have a little bit of creative fun here. So I've just asked us to render the picture as if we took the same picture in our 20s. It's got a few questions. Now I tried this a few weeks ago just to see if it could do it, and it didn't ask these questions. So now in just a few weeks it actually has the option now of changing clothing and rendering each person separately. That's a big advance for just a few weeks. Alright, so here we go. It's taking its time thinking about it. I mean, look at that. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? With clothes on and all. So my wife says that does look like her when she was that age. That does look a bit like me. The only thing is I didn't have big black bushy eyebrows, but apart from that, it's pretty close. So that's altering existing images. Let's see what it does with when I ask it to just create an image. and I'm going to make it something ridiculous. So I come up with a prompt here. My dog is a Belgian Shepherd Grenadale. Can you create a picture of my dog surfing, wearing board shorts and holding up a sign, "My daddy's girl"? I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. And even 6 months ago, this was impossible to do. Yeah, so all those people you see on the media and YouTube and all that touting AI is the next revolution. It is if you're an investor in it. I'm pretty sure all those people really pushing it are investors or creators or have a financial interest in that industry. Because if you don't, you're going to suffer. One other thing I should say is with ChatGPT, if I repeat the same prompt a number of times, I don't get the same result each time. I get something different. So it's constantly evolving or constantly thinking of other ways to present me the same image with the same prompt. How's that? That's pretty cool. Let's see if we can refine it a bit more so it looks a bit more realistic. A lot of this stuff requires experimentation. You really need to know how to ask it. Oh my god, look at that. That's so clever. And just in case you think it's got the dog wrong, here's my dog over here. Okay, well let's move on to something a little more serious now. I'm trying a new venture at the moment called SEO services. So it's search engine optimized for websites. The way I come up with that idea is the only part-time job I've had in the last few years is doing SEO for a dog training website. And since I moved up here, I've posted on Facebook a few times about work, and I think I had 4 replies, and every single one of them was, "Can you do SEO on my website?" So these are professional WordPress people, so people who know how to use WordPress and create content sites, but they don't know anything about SEO. And being a programmer, I find this sort of stuff not too difficult to grasp. So I thought, since I'm getting inquiries on this, there's no better way to sell myself than to make a website that actually ranks high itself. I mean, that's the proof that it's actually working, isn't it? So in order to do that, I started doing some market research. To do some market research, I need to work out who the target audience is. So for providing this type of service, these are the target audience: small and medium-sized businesses, e-commerce stores, professional services, startups, blah, 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 blah. So I've already made a prompt for this earlier. So I wanted to make a buyer persona. So given that information that ChatGPT just gave us, and I added a few extra things, so I've made a prompt that says this: I'm creating a buyer persona for my business. My target audience is this, which is this list up here. Please act as a market research analyst and conduct a deep research study on this audience. Provide me with detailed market research. And as you can see here, there's quite a few criteria like motivation, challenges, demographics, age group, all that sort of stuff. And you see this little button here, you click research and it will actually put a lot more work into this. So this is going to take a while. I think last time I tried this it took about 10 minutes. Wants to know what country. Just to keep it simple. One country, one service. Okay, source. Okay, and away it goes. As you can see, this is going to take a while, so I'm just going to pause here until this is done. Okay, this is still going. It's almost finished. As you can see here, it's got this information from 17 sources. The reports come back now. Took quite a while. It's even formatted it for me. Looks like half business owners are over 60, according to this. Younger entrepreneurs are under 30 are relatively rare, about 8%. Notice it's got references everywhere. Location, their income, the type of job they have, their needs. I mean, this is good stuff because you only want to create a product that people need, right? Pain points. Overwhelmed by digital marketing. I can confirm that. Most people haven't got a clue how all this stuff works, so it's quite confusing and but rightfully so. I mean, they're specialists in something else. They're not specialist technology people, so I mean, I have to get my accounts done when I'm working, and I don't want to do it. I'd rather have someone who's an expert do it for me. I've done it once and I ended up having to pay because I did something wrong with the Medicare levy. Motivation. And here's all the sources where I pulled this information from. And these look like credible resources, not some dodgy post that someone did on Reddit or something. So they look like from high authority, credible or government affiliated websites. So I guess you could take that report as being fairly accurate at least. Now you could imagine if I paid a marketing person to do this, it would have been weeks of research and at least a couple of $1,000, and I got all this in 2 minutes for free. So one thing I've noticed ChatGPT isn't so great at is creating sounds. So it seems to make simple sounds okay, so I'm not sure if it's just sourcing it off the internet and just letting me have it. But if I try and make something a little more complex, it has trouble doing it. So just as an example, so as you can see, you can't actually create that. I told it to have my dog start barking louder and louder and then suddenly transform into a operatic voice. So pretty ridiculous, I know, but I just wanted to see if it can do it. And it can't, but it's actually given me instructions on how to do it. So it looks like here it can actually create a Audacity project which I can download and then upload onto the website. I mean, that's helpful. So when I hosted this new website, I used Hostinger to do it. Not because it's the best, but because it's the cheapest. So I'm paying about $3 a month, and it lets me use 50 websites. That's a pretty impressive deal for something that's actually quite decent. So anyhow, this Hostinger has a AI chatbot that lets you create websites, fully functioning websites, with just AI prompts only, no programming required. Yeah, so this is the prompt I gave it to create this website for me. So I was just experimenting with this, so it's only a simple prompt. I'm a software developer with decades of experience. I want to create a website mostly targeting SEO services. Other services are website building, custom programming and automations, video creating, video editing, consulting and social media director. Create me a theme that pop out and is easy to read while grabbing attention and easy to navigate. So that's the prompt I gave it. And about 10 minutes later, I'll show you what it created. And this is what it created. I mean, the theming on this, let alone, is a lot of work. Weeks' work, at least. So it's created an about page, it's created animations, it's created header and footer, so it's created all the placeholders where I would just go in and alter stuff. It's even made a contact form. So it's created this on that prompt, so it's sort of worked out what I would be looking for. So as you can see, it hasn't gone any further than that, but you can just keep prompting it and we'll just create more and more content. So that's pretty impressive. So I hope that's given you some insight into what the current iteration of AI can do. So, and I've only touched the surface. I'm pretty sure this would actually do my tax for me now as well. And if you had some legal things to do, you could probably get this to, if you write it the right way, you could probably get it to give you very expert legal advice, because it has full access to all the law and it's got the perfect memory, so it would be able to probably bring up case histories far better than a person could remember. So I hope that was enlightening. Thank you for watching.